All right. Tonight's going to be one fun ass night. Let me turn on my fan. Get some caffeine and we're rocking. All right, let's go. And this is the start of the jellyfish, kind of. So tonight we are busting out a jellyfish. We are going to be using the 1940s uranium on it. So it should be pretty awesome. We're going to see how it goes and take it from there. We are looking good. All right, we're going to pull one point and then we'll pull the second one here. Go from there. Grab this and do point number 2. What's up, everybody? Dragonfly, John White, how are you? Dennis, what's up? Philip, Katie, Cruisin', what's happening? Who else do we have? We got the Rural Report. Chris, what's up? Chris, I get my flashlight on Amazon. If you need a link, let me know. Colleen Glass, how are you? KCH. What's up, Devo? Devo on TikTok, how you doing? Okay, we're going to pull this down and get it started. Okay, break that one apart. We got to let these cool off. We'll start making some jellyfish legs real quick. See how we're going to do. I have no idea how I'm going to make it. I literally have no idea how I'm going to do it tonight. But we're going to try it. I got an itch. That sucks. So let's see. We're going to experiment with making one of the jellyfish legs real quick. Okay, we're going to need that, and we're going to need that. Okay, so let's pop it in really close and see how we're doing. I better trim this off a little. There we go. So if you've never seen color being applied by tubing, this is how you do it. A lot of people don't know you can take tubing and make color out of it, or color rod. Kind of. There we go. This is the 1940s uranium glass tubing. It's pretty amazing stuff, still to this day. Bring it out. Glass is one of those rare substances that does not go bad. Now we're going to take some slime green and we're going to go on a corner here. Add that on. And we're going to take a little shimmer glass. So these tentacles are going to have 3 colors popping through there. Derek, if you do that one more time, I will have you booted. What's up, Groves? Rambo, how are you? And here we go. We're going to add in the green. And there we go. All right, let's pop in a side view so you guys can kind of see where we're at a little bit here. So we just got the 3 colors bouncing on the uranium, the lime, and the sparkle. And then we got the lime green right in the middle. What's up, Sand Dollar? We are making a jellyfish. Yeah, tonight is Mad Scientist night. Literally is. All right, here we go. We're going to attach a little... Oop, I definitely have something on there. Don't want that on there. I don't know what it is. That's why I don't want it on there. Okay. Let's go ahead and pop it in real close. So you guys get a look at it. All right, jellyfish leg number 1 done. And we're going to take this off and clean it up a little. And there we got jellyfish leg number 1, so tentacle number 1 coming down. Or one of tentacles. I don't know if it's number 1, but it's one of. I'm going to keep all these little bits that we have tonight, and we're going to turn it into a marble maybe later. Yeah, we're definitely making jellyfish tonight. We're using the 1940s uranium glass. And this is how you take it from tubing onto a solid rod. So we use tubing for that. Then we're going to come over here and add some slime green. And there we go. A little bit of slime. We'll just call this Pert shampoo color. This is Pert. So this is what we end up with. A little lumpy and stuff, but we'll fix all that. Just going to grip it out here. Grip it and rip it. What I have discovered in doing these, you cannot make every one of them having little curly cues. They don't fit. So we got to make some of these that have like just semi-squiggles. So you can kind of see the difference here between the two. This one has a much more aggressive bend. This one's a lot less. All right, let me come over here. All right, back out to normal view. Ugh. Pull this a little bit. I'm going to save all these little bits because it does have uranium and very expensive colors to it. We're going to save it and maybe make it into a funky marble later. Maybe. What's up from the Philippines? How are you? How you doing, Van? It is an awesome art, to be honest. I love it. Yeah, this is like one of my favorite things on the planet to do. All right, if you are on and you are viewing and you are having a fantastic Friday night, go ahead and type 1 in the chat. This is going to pop again, watch. Oh, crack, crack. All right, that's the only part I don't like about it. But that's all right. So we take pure tubing and we just start striping it down. If you do it properly here, you can lay the tubing down and not trap any air in it. If you do it just right. You can actually color with tubing. A lot of people don't know you can do this. This is one of the secrets. You can take a small 12 millimeter colored tube and actually make a cool rod with it. A lot of people don't know that. Now you do. If you follow my channel, you do. All right, we got the uranium on there. Let's grab the lime green. I don't know what my phone is going off for. Woo! Looking good. There we go. We got lots of happy people in here. That's what I like seeing. What's up, Witch and Grandma? How you doing? Gross. Groves, you doing good? Good to see you on. Big shout out to the mods tonight. Friday nights and Saturdays are always busy for them. So a big thank you out to the mods that keep everything safe and happy. All right, so we got basically, there's 4 colors on here. We got lime green transparent, pert shampoo green, and uranium glass from the 1940s. This is 1940s era uranium glass. I happened to be able to get a hold of a little bit, not a little bit, I got a lot. Someone was selling their studio and had a whole bunch of it and asked me if I was interested, and I bought it all. Because it's not very often you can get your hands on like uranium glass from the early days. So this is original Pyrex. It is made by Corning, and this is the original uranium glass. Unknown! I appreciate you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that super chat, Unknown. You really helped me. That helps boost us in the algorithm a little bit, so I appreciate that. All right, so we're adding a little twisty here. So one of the things that I do when I'm building stuff like this, I kind of make it bigger than I really need it, maybe, because I can always remove excess. But what I cannot do is add to it if it's too short, especially on a tentacle. So when I'm building these, I make them a little extra long, and then I can always take it down. I don't have to leave it that long. And that part is super helpful when you're doing this stuff. All right, let's grab another piece of the lime green. Okay. We got to keep these rods separate. There we go. Stay. Yeah, it's a tube of glass. Would that be ruining historic work? No. No, this is just 1940s tubing. It's used all the time when possible. But I've got like 25 pounds of it, so I'm good. And it's going to shatter again. Does not like heating and cooling that fast. But you'd be surprised how many people take old uranium glass and remelt it down. All right, here we go. Got a drip going. Got an open end here somewhere. Hold on. That definitely went a little sideways. It's all right. There we go. Now we got some goo on there. Then we're going to add the shimmer, or pert. I think I should just name this the pert shampoo glass, because everybody will know what the hell I'm talking about. Then some lime green. I'm going to add a little bit more right here. I think I need to add a little bit more of this shimmer green onto it. Since the uranium got a little thick. So now we got a big old chunk of it. Yeah, I got it from a studio that was closing down, and they offered it to me, and I bought it all. Got to remember, I live in glassblowing country here. This is the home of Chihuly and Pilchuck, Seattle Glass Art Institute, all that fun stuff. We are in glass country here. I literally live 5 miles from the famous Pilchuck Glass Art School. The only other place that's more well known would probably be Corning, New York. Oh, this one's going to be really funky. We're going to have a fun time with this one. I'm going to have to curl this one all up. We're going to give this one a lot of curls. Oh, not that far. There we go. Yeah, I kind of like it that way. Okay, so we got that done. We're probably going to, now that I got 4 of these done, I'll see if the tube is cool enough. We'll go ahead and start making the jellyfish top. And I'll make a couple more of these. I should probably get the legs done first. I know this is kind of boring, but hey. Gotta do the right thing here. There. So that is, like I said, just a funky, shapy leg. They look a lot like these little snakes floating around. I should probably put them in a jar standing up so y'all can see it. No, it'd burn. All right, bring this down there. So let's do it again. I have 4 more to go. So I'm going to trim this off this time because that last one made a little bit of a mess. Keep that nice and clean like that. Get off. All right, we'll go way out here and do it from the far back of the flame where it's much cooler. So this portion of the flame I'm in right here is literally 5 to 800 degrees cooler than if it brought it down another 1.5 to 2 inches. So in here it's super hot. Up here it's about 500 degrees cooler. Kind of odd, right? Are icicle pendants supposed to be chunky? Yours, well, just practice. That's all. All good. It's just a practice bit. So yeah, we're taking this glass and we're making the jellyfish tentacles right now. The jellyfish will look pretty close to the one that's displayed up in the front. And the difference is the legs are going to glow under a black light. because we got that uranium glass on there. Where did I put that? Okay, right there. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and take it down. Get it all heated up, stretch and pull. And then we're just going to bend again. Like that. This is the one part that's time consuming. Although we only have 3 more to go. We're not that far off. We only have 3 more of these to go. We're not far at all from getting it. And pull that little nail right there off. Move these guys off to the side. So yeah, they almost look like snakes when you get done. Could probably call them snakes. But I'll show you a little bit of the difference between uranium glass from the 40s and uranium glass that is modern. I do have some solid rods of it too. So these are the 2 versions of uranium glass right there. Okay, the top one is 1940s, the bottom one is modern. And if I hit it with the black light, there is a slight difference there, but color-wise, you can kind of see that the modern one is a little lighter. The uranium from the 40s is more like olive green. It has more of an olive green color to it. Now, when it's in tubing form, it's very transparent. Look at all that condensation built in there. Woo! But when it's like this, and it's thin, it has not a lot of color, but when you look at it from this direction, you can see all that lime green that way. Go ahead and pop this out. Sorry. A little cracky right there. Pull this little bit off. Okay, let's go ahead and add the uranium glass here. Start way up high. Pull it apart right there. Then we'll add in the other two colors. So that there's literally 4 greens running through here. There's the lime green and the pert. We'll bring it down. The next one, I'll pull the camera in real close for everybody so we can change the view a little bit. We'll bring it in real close. So then you just grip it and rip it. And here we go. Now this one I don't want to have a whole lot of curls to. I want to kind of leave it just kind of squiggles a little. Like that. And again, I can always remove some from the bottom. I don't have to have it this long if I don't want it. Like that. So we can tear some off and create that shorter effect if we need to. All right, 2 to go. Only 2 to go. We only have 2 more to go. We should be good. Oh, man, I forgot. Well, poop. I did it backwards. Hold on. There goes the dyslexia kicking in. All right. And this is why I always keep these short punties around, the short ones. Like this, I know a lot of people throw them out, and they're crazy. Because you can take all these little short ends and use them for stuff later. I keep them categorized by size, separate boxes, and when I need it, I just go grab it. Then I don't have to cut any extra rods. Okay, let's punch it in. There we go. We're going to make another squiggle. Will be punched in really close and tight right now. Backwards or artistic vision. It's definitely backwards. I am definitely backwards. All right. So this is the uranium glass. Big old chunky tubing of it. It's actually not chunky, it's a little thin. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to get another one out of this while this condensation's in here. We're going to add the lime green. There. And then we're going to pop on some of the pert. Okay, this one we're going to do long. The next one we're going to do super curly. I like to have like 3 really curly ones and the rest just kind of out there. So there we are. Everything's built up. So this one we'll just make long again. The next one, which will be the last one, we'll make curly. 2, 4, 6, 7. Yep. Just a little bend. All right, this next one we're going to go super curly on. And that'll be the last one. We're on the last one right after this. There we go. Two, 4, 6, 7. Yep, one more curly. Let's take this off. Button these two up together so I can use all of it that I need. There we go. All right, this should be last one. Normally I make a backup, but I don't think I'm going to right now. I usually have one leg that's a backup, but I think we'll be okay. Okay, get this all started melting. Pull the end off just to be safe. There we go. That's as far as I could go. That is getting hot. That was getting super hot. May have to make a backup. May have to do one. Because I don't know how well this is going to turn out. And there we go. We're good to go. Definitely have to get this whole thing melted in. Let's get some nice curls going in here. Let's bring it out here. There we go. The little ends I'm going to actually turn into a marble. Yeah, we're going to be doing a marble with it. We're going to take all of it and create a funky little marble out of it. Just like a chaotic looking marble. I am going to make one backup, I think. It probably wouldn't be a bad idea. We'll use a fresh tube because that one has got a lot of condensation in it. All right, let's get this done. Yeah, that's much better. There we go. Then we're going to bring it over here. This is that pert looking shampoo color. The last one is the lime green. Break. Yeah, it doesn't hurt to have a backup. And just in case one of the legs breaks, cracks, or has an issue as you're making it. And I think we're looking good. All right, let's change the view back out. Okay, so I'm going to pull this last leg, and then we're going to go right into the making the jellyfish cap. So we just have to heat everything up. And here we go. That one I can leave. I'll put it on anyway. We'll just separate it here. Okay, we are all set. We got backup if we need it. So I'll show you a little something that happened. You might have heard this little cracking going on. And I set a hot rod next to this tube, and it stuck for just a second. Let's see if we can bring it out. Where'd it go? It's even hard to see. Ah, there it is. So right there, you can see that cracking right there. So I set a hot rod next to that. It stuck for just a second, then it shattered it because of the heat. Not that it's going to affect the glass at all. It just, I like to show that type of stuff when it happens. Okay, we got all that done. We're going to make the cap. Let's go ahead and make sure we got enough material here with gold and silver. A tiny bit of gold on there. If I don't have enough gold, I'll have to make it another rod. Definitely none on that. Oh, plenty on there. And we're going to put this off to the side. Get it out of the way. Out of the way. All right, so first things first, we got to get a little silver nugget. So I'm going to start with a fresh piece of silver. I don't want to go through the hassle of having one that doesn't work properly. Drop that little bit in there. And you know what? We'll put a little bit there just in case I need it later. I need my Mentos. I'm dying over here. Actually, I got new gum. Oh, what's up? How you doing, fiery wife? What's up, Steffi? How's it going? Okay, so this next step is going to be awesome. Yeah, you definitely could hear that tink. Okay. Let's go ahead and make the jellyfish head right now. Tighten this up so it doesn't get in the way. So we're going to use green tubing for this. This is a different variation of it. I think it's going to look pretty awesome with green tubing. No, never gets hot holding. No, ever, ever. No, it never gets hot. All right, we're going to drop it in. There we go. So this technique is called pulling a point. It is one of the most basic things you should learn when doing this. Oddly enough, I was watching someone on a very, very popular channel, and they were saying that they didn't like pulling points because it was unsafe. I was like, no, you don't like pulling points because you can't. It's like one of the safest things you could do. And there we go. Okay, so we're going to put a little holding rod here. We're going to heat the whole thing up. I got to seal the bottom where the tubing is right here, tapping a little bit. Make it a little bit thicker right there so that as we get heavy with this, because the top is going to get heavy, it doesn't fall over or fall off. So we're going to add a little structure up there before we get too far. And right now I'm just preheating the tubing. We're going to get to this point. We're going to pull the flame way down. This is the part I need to thicken up before we go any further. Just about there. Okay, we're just going to bring it down a little bit. Like that. Okay. All right, first thing we're going to do is kind of bunch it up a little bit. I want to thicken this up a tiny bit. Not so straight right there. Hold on. Went a little wobbly on me. Okay, that's better. So we're going to kind of push it together a tiny bit. And this is going to make the wall a lot thicker, the wall of the tubing, how thick the tubing is. And that way, when I blow it out and extend it for the actual jellyfish head, it has some depth to it. There we go. Let it get straightened out. Give it a puff of air to straighten it. Bring it right here. So you can see, you may not be able to tell, but it shrunk down quite a bit. And it just made it a lot thicker so that when I go to expand it, it doesn't get ultra thin. Let's go ahead and remove this big chunk up here, because that will also affect it. There we go. Okay, to effectively make this work really well, we're going to grab some silver. And it is pure silver. It's 0.9999 pure. It's a little tiny chunky nugget up here. And we're going to actually vaporize that in the flame and transfer it from the tip of the torch all the way up to the main object up here. It's going to basically silver plate the item. There we go. Let's pull off the side view just so you can see. I'm going to see if I can get you guys a good glimpse at it. Can you see that little nugget? Yeah, it's still focusing on the torch. Anyway, there's a little nugget right there, shiny. You know what? I'm going to leave it on the side view. You're going to watch it in real time. So the tip is going to go down here, and the silver is going to fly through the flame and transfer onto the main object. Here we go. This is cool. If you've never seen this before, the process is called fuming. It's not anything new. There we go. We'll bring it over, and now you can see it's plated. It is extremely shiny. And then it kind of gives it that iridescence. All right, we're going to go to dual stream. TikTok really wants me to do my CAPTCHA. Well, better now than later. All right. So now we're going to burn that in a little bit. I'll bring it in up close so you guys can see it just a little. There we go. So you can see we got all the colors. You can still see it's pretty shiny. But for this one, we definitely need a longer view. All right, so here we go. I'm debating on how I should do this. I think I need to do it a different way. Oh, that's the silver rod. Crap. There's Fritz. All right, we're going to thicken this. We're going to heat it up. I'm going to push it together as I blow it out. I think I'm going to feel a little better about that. There's two techniques I could use. One, I could make a ball and open it up by hand, or I could do it this way. And here we go. We're going to push it open. And I'm going to push it together as I'm blowing it open. Like that. So it almost looks like an apple. Let me clean it up a little bit. Okay, this is the only part where it gets hot. Okay, it gets incredibly hot at this point. So yes, this part will be hot. And what gets hot is as I go to flare it open or make it bigger, the radiating heat's going to act like a heat dish essentially and throw that heat all the way on me. Unless I do it, you know what? We may try a new technique tonight. Hold on. We're going to try something new. Hold on. This may be a total fail, but we're going to find out. So I pop a little hole right there. I'm going to show you the color before we go too far since I got a moment. So you can see it all changed that coloring from that lime green with that silver. It gave it an iridescence like that. You can even see my hand starting to get hot right there. Okay. So we're going to try this a little differently real quick. I'm going to detach it here. So this is one of the spots I don't like on the jellyfish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really thicken the heck out of it. We'll just attach a solid rod there, and I won't have to worry about it. Yeah, I think you'll do. So we'll line it up really good here. Yeah, if I can keep this top really, really thick, that's going to make it so much better. All right, so we got a little light bulb going. It is open on the end. You can see that opening right there. And that's how we're going to get this thing looking pretty awesome here. We're going to start out here. We're going to heat the whole thing up. Right about to the middle. I don't want to go all the way up to the top. I just want to go to about the middle. Then we're going to bring it out here. We're going to go to the side view for this. This is going to look cool. We'll do it on side view. You guys are going to like this. So you can see we're opening up right there. A little bit of centrifugal force opened it up a little more. We're going to go right inside the flame. Then we're going to let it drip. Start creating that little bit of wave to it. And I just let a natural bend happen to it. I try not to force it. Like that. So now we got the jellyfish top kind of all ready to go. I'm going to give it a little bit more bend right here. And then we got one more spot to do that in. Just right about there. We're going to let it drip down. So now we got that jellyfish top all ready to go. All right, so here's where the magic's going to happen. We'll go back out here. We're going to grab some gold and we're going to shoot gold into it. And the gold's going to change that coloring altogether again. So here we go. We got pure gold this time, not the silver. We're going to fire it on the inside for a little bit, and then we're going to pop it on the outside. So right now we're just vaporizing that pure gold in here. You can see the color went very golden right there. You can see that gold hue happening to it. We'll bring it over to the side again so you guys get a little bit of a better view. So now we got a whole different color scheme to it. Like that. Then we're going to fire a little bit of silver on the outside, and then a little bit of gold. Get it on both ends here. Like that. Now you can see we got all the color running through that way. We're going to blend that in real quick. Now we got the magic going even more. Then we're going to add some gold on here and finish her off with that. Let's go ahead and do the gold on the outer edges. I only want the gold on the edge this time. I don't want it throughout the whole thing. I wonder if my gold fell off in there. Sure looks like it. Yeah, my gold fell. Huh. How funny. Okay, so we're just golding the edge, just on the edge now. And there we have all the gold on the edges. It's all color changing all the way throughout. And the beauty is, once the light really hits it well, you can see all the colors bouncing through. And there's the inside. Okay, that goes in the kiln for the moment. Now comes the hard part, the assembly. This is going to be this is where everything comes together. And yeah. It either works really, really well, or it's going to be an epic fail. Let's go ahead and take this down. Let's see if I'm still fast these days. There we go. All right, so now comes the assembly part. So this is where we're going to build up everything we need to build for that. This is like the hub of the jellyfish. This is where everything has to come together correctly. So we're going to build this hub up. And I'll have to do some test fitting and make sure it all works. But I think we're going to be just fine. This will take a few minutes, so if you got a minute that you want to go grab something to drink or go hang out for a second, something you got to go do, got a couple minutes here before we do assembly. So if you're hanging around for it, definitely hang around. But wanted to give you a heads up, we got just a minute before we do anything super spectacular or assembly yet. So go handle what you need to handle if you want. Although it's always available on replay, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. So in order for this to kind of survive, you have to build what I call a big base for it. Like a thick, thick, thick base to it for all the tentacles to adhere to. Number one, you have to have the space for them to put on there, to get put on. But number two, this will retain a lot of heat. So the thicker this glass is, the more heat it will retain and the slower it will cool, meaning I have more time to actually work with it and not worry that it's going to crack on me in the middle of assembly. So there's two reasons why I build it this way. That was number one there. I just don't want it cracking during prime assembly time. All right, so we got to start building up a little bit of a cone, like a pyramid cone. Thank you for the hand hearts, Wendy. Jen, thank you. Wendy, Jen, thank you for the hand heart. Okay, we're getting pretty close here. Probably going to use the rest of this rod in here. So we're going to have to attach a little extension. Hoping I have one nearby that's big enough. I guess this one I'll have to do. Okay, we're going to get that fused on there. Let's go ahead and use a little bit of bigger flame. Let's get it a little bit faster. It's kind of overkill for this, but that's okay. All right, let's pull it down. All right, we're good there. All right, last little bit is I got to take the other end off now, this side, and we're going to widen it out a little bit. Before I do that, let me double check the measurement. Let's make sure we're good. Okay. All right, so last little bit, we're going to compress it a tiny bit. We're going to take this section down, flatten it out a little. Lynn, thank you so much for that super chat. You're awesome. You've learned a lot? You know what? That makes me happy. I'm glad you learned. That makes me happy. All right, so we're going to compress this down a little bit. Then we're going to separate it right now. I'm going to separate it from this clear rod. Going to have to deal with the wobbles for a second. Let's get rid of all that clear because we don't want it mixed in. The ooey gooey right there. Okay, we're all good. Okay, so next step, we're going to take this, we're going to flatten it down a little bit. And for that, I'm going to use one of the molds because it does offer a little bit of an opportunity for having room to put all the tentacles in there. So now we got this kind of side, almost looks like a spinner top over here. But that's going to allow me a lot of room to be able to add the tentacles on there. So this part right here will go up into the jellyfish, the actual jellyfish head. Okay, we are good to go. We're going to go ahead and punch it in. Yeah, we do special requests for sure, as long as it's in my wheelhouse. Okay, here we go. This is the part that's going to be the scariest. This is the full-blown assembly. So we're going to start adding all the tentacles on, one at a time. Oh, you're not being happy there. We'll come over here and take this off. Keep it nice and hot. Then we're going to grab some more tentacles here. We're going to grab the next one. I should probably pop it back out because you guys aren't getting a total view yet. There. Sorry, I'm not talking that much right this second. I'm just kind of we'll let the torch sound do its thing. Okay, so now we're going to start with the curlies. All right, we're getting pretty close. All right, we're almost done. Now you know why I kept that little center part really thick, because without that heat base in there, this would already be cracking. You know, oddly enough, I built a backup, but I think this backup's actually going to go right into the piece. I didn't intend on having this many on here. No, I don't like that direction. I'm going to have to replace this one. There we go. It was too funky out there. All right, so we got the jellyfish all set up here. Now we just have to take a moment and let it heat up. Now, let me see if I can get this done the right way. Now, let's just go for it. Okay, we got to park this in the kiln real quick. Then I'll come back to it and add a hook to it. Okay, now I just have to add a little, make a little hook for that, pop it on. Yeah, that one's pretty gnarly. I like that one. It looks good. Thank you, Red Squeak. All right, let's make a durable little hook for it, attach it. Hey, Daisy Girl. But yeah, I like it. I think it came out good. I'm happy. Okay, let's see where we're at here. I just need to make a real durable hook for it. Attach it, and we'll call that one done. All right, let's go ahead and get that part done. Okay, this is the hook for it. It's got to be super durable. This is where all the weight's gonna reside on it. We just got to make it really clean, thick, and durable. There we go. All right, we'll punch it in really close for this and bring it in. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that didn't work out. I don't like it. No likey. Doesn't look right. I'm going to redo it. Not happy with that. Let's go ahead and get it done a little differently here. Try it a different way. I wasn't super happy with that at all. Yeah. No, leave it clear. All right, there we go. We got this all pulling down right now. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Kind of looks cooler. So I just changed the hook up a little. So instead of just a super oblong one, we kind of made a little flat surface to it. It just looks better to me. I don't want to go through all that work just to put a crappy hook on there. Yeah, like that. Much better. Now I'll finish this off tomorrow or later, but I don't want to try and hold it with the tweezers, so I grab it here and we'll burn off that little tentacle tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll remove that little tiny tentacle on the bottom there, that little attachment. So this way it can sit in the kiln all day and kind of do that. Mom's doing good, Deb. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I like that hook a lot better. I think it came out 10 times better. Okay, so we got all these little uranium bits. We're going to grab them and turn it to a funky marble real quick. You guys up for that? Let's make a weird-ass marble. You can see the uranium here. We'll put it off to the side view. Yep, there we go. You can see how it's all lit up like that. So we got all these little bits like that. We're going to go ahead and turn into little marble. Let's grab some glass and do that. Okay, this should be good. Oop. Oh, you're not going to break, are you? Oh, it's cracked, but it doesn't want to break. All right. There it goes. It was stubborn. What's my favorite song? I don't really have a favorite song. All right, here we go. Gonna fuse this on. Those little bits flying, I hate that. Those are little angry bits. Those are little angry bits. What's up, everybody? How are you? The jellyfish encased? Yeah, the jellyfish encased, you can't really do that out of borosilicate. Yeah, you can't do that jellyfish style inside a paperweight in borosilicate in a big fashion. You can do small ones, like little pendant size. Can't do it big. Anybody that says they can is lying. I've seen a few people saying they have it, and it's absolutely not true. And here we go. And there we go. We got it rocking. So we're going to build a lot of bulk glass on here. And then we're going to come through and add all the little bits on there and melt them in. Have I ever made a ribbon? You mean like a cancer ribbon type thing. How do they get flowers in? Well, the flowers inside a marble is pretty simple. Okay, that's not too bad. And you're talking about a marble that's, like 3 inches, not a problem. I'm talking the big jellyfish, like 12 inches tall or 8-inch tall jellyfish inside a solid glass. Not going to happen in boro. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Okay, here we go. We're going to push this all together. This is going to be a crazy chaos marble. I mean, seriously, it's going to be totally random. I'm going to probably have to do it in chaos, though. All right, here we go. I don't know if this is going to pick it up. We're going to try it. Oh, you guys can't. I don't know. You might see it. Hold on. Where I pick it up right there, there's the little chunks. We're just rolling it in. Can you guys see those chunks getting adhered? This is totally crazy. There we go. That's enough on that. Let me get the rest of these little chunks around. It's like 5 more chunks down here. I need you too. Really? So now we got all those little bits from the marble on there, or from the jellyfish. They're all kind of just chunky monkeyed on there. We're just going to melt it all together. Here we go. Mom's doing good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, she's doing good. No, I haven't done a 4-leaf clover yet. Move all these little bits out of the way. Yeah, Penthouse makes some killer flowers. He's the flower guy. All right, we should call this patchwork. We should call this marble patchwork. We can do that, Hex. All right, we got half a marble done. I think I'm going to do something cool with this. I need a minute. We're gonna kind of make it look kind of cool. We're gonna do a half and half on it. We're gonna do half Dichro Galaxy and half Patchwork. We'll put Dichro up here and Patchwork on the bottom, or not bottom, but the other half. Let's go ahead and get it rounded out a little bit, though. If you guys wouldn't be so kind to make sure you hit the like button, that really helps me a lot. Doesn't cost you anything. But it would definitely help if you hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you think if you're having some fun on the content, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely helps. Okay. I just got to round this out a little bit. And then we're going to make some Dichro for it. All right, we're going to park this in the kiln for a moment. I'm going to whip up some Dichro and pop it in there. It'll work. So dichroic glass is absolutely amazing. Has a really beautiful sparkle. Groves was telling you exactly how to do it, I think. Just go to fieryguy.com. Yep. Thank you, Gene. You can contact us there. All right, so we're going to seal this Dichro up, encase it, spin it up, put it on that little marble. Going to look good. There we go. Okay, we got some of that blue Dichro in there. We just have to make sure we get it going really well. Really, really, really good. So this is a little blue sparkle glass. We're going to take it, we're going to spin it up. It's going to create a little galaxy in there. Oh, Gene, your Hummingbird's awesome, actually. I almost didn't want to sell it. All right, here we go. So we're going to spin this up. This is going to make it look like a micro galaxy. All right, we're going to magnify that little bit up here. And I will try and show you what it looks like. We'll try and get a good visual on it. All right. That should be enough clear. Let's bring it out. Woo. Yeah, that's a lot of sparkle in there. Even Liberace would be jealous. Only a certain generation's going to know who the hell Liberace is. Yeah, as soon as that really comes into play, it's going to look amazing. But you can see all those little blue sparkles popping in there, and it's going to get brighter and brighter. You got booted off, Bale? Off here? You thought Dicro was purple? Oh no, Dicro comes in like 20 different colors. Yeah, Dicro comes in like 20 different colors. It's an entire rainbow of color. You can get it any color you want. Liberace of marble, that's right. All right, here we go. We're going to burn this off, and then we're going to attach it to the marble, weld it in. And we're going to be all good. Huh. My jellyfish went moving. You guys missed it on the camera. The whole jellyfish went moving. Definitely one of those moments. Dicro is dichroic glass. It is, best way I could describe it, it looks very similar to like the back of a mirror, where a mirror kind of has that coating on it. Anyway, it comes in several different processes, and it creates these little sparkly glass. It's also very shiny. If you don't break it apart, it looks very cool. But when you like break it apart into tiny little bits, it turns into little galaxies. So imagine taking a mirror and shredding it into a confetti. And you'd have all these thousands of little particles from a mirror. Same thing. I should just leave it and call it BB-8. I'm not going to do that though. But tell me this doesn't look like BB-8. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars nerd. Does that not look like BB-8 a little bit? Or Vincent from the Black Hole. It's either BB-8 or Vincent from the Black Hole. Either one works. Uranium SpongeBob? Yeah, no kidding. I just don't want to get sued. All right, so we're melting all this dichroic glass in here. We're going to get the sparkle. So this is going to be kind of cool. It's going to have the patchwork from all the uranium jellyfish bits today, and then we'll have a little dichro window in it. That'll be kind of neat. And here we go. See, it's all blending in right now. And just a little bit more. Oh, thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Yeah, a lot of people do hummingbirds for memory of other people. Hummingbirds are really popular. That's why just about every new glassblower that comes up, I always say, learn to make a bird. Mushrooms and birds. Mushrooms and birds. Trying to get these, I got a couple little spots in here. They're like getting a little wonky on me, but this holding rod's really short. So the back flame, the heat from the radiating heat from the marble's kicking me in the thumb really bad. I may have to switch over to a larger rod or longer. Yeah, we're going to have to switch over. I'll show you the dichro, though. This is the little mini galaxy we got going. You can definitely see it. Look at out there already. You can already see it popping in out there. All those little sparkles buzzing through there. So I need to put a longer rod on this though, because it's getting too hot, the radiating heat. Doing good, John. Thank you for asking. Awesome. All right, here we go. We're going to attach a holding rod. Right there. So the next step, I got to blend this in a little bit. And there we go. So I'll show you what I'm contending with right here. Everything in the dichro side looks good, but when we get to where'd you go? There it is. That big dip right there. It's that little crater. Looks like a Death Star with it in there. Yeah, it's got a little circle in there. It looks like a little Death Star. The storm side of Jupiter. I bet you I could probably get pretty close to doing that. I know. Call it a death ball or something. Death globe. All right, here we go. I'm just working that little tiny dent that was in there. It's like a little button of emptiness. I think this marble might actually be pretty cool. We'll have to see when it cools off. I think it'll look good. Woo! That's what I'm talking about right there. Look at that spin. I'll bring that in for you guys. I always think this part's kind of cool when you guys get to see the actual marble forming in there. There we go. Didn't know the old fart like me could spin it that fast, did you? All right, no flaws. Now we're just do a transfer. That's a little short. They're all short. Damn it. Oh, no. You're my winner for the moment. How big is it going to be? It's not going to be very big. It's like 2-inch. It's a small. It's not my bigger size, but 2 inches is like a happy spot, I think. 2-inch marbles to me are perfect because they're not so big they're imposing on a desk or something, but they're not so small that it feels like it's insignificant. Now, oddly enough, like 3 of my favorite marbles are under 1 inch. They're like super small, but they're amazing. There are some patterns in it I've never ever been able to replicate. And I really don't know how I got it. I've tried to replicate it. All right, we got to bring this over and get it polished off, and then this one will be done. All right. Let's smooth out this little top end and we'll separate it. We'll bring it out and show you the dichro again. Again, I always think it looks like a little galaxy. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's actually kind of cool looking, to be honest. See how that blue just pops in there? When you get up close with it. That's no extra lighting on it. Yeah, this is kind of a freaky cool marble, to be honest. There we go. Bring it right up. Got all the greens running through. All right, so we're going to use Dragonfly Creations Amazing Marble Holder to separate this. So you take it, grip it, and pop it. Oh, wow, that came right off. That was totally ready to fall off. All right, we got to let that cool for a second before I pop it in the kiln. All right, let's I think I want to make a bird out of the I think I want to make a hummingbird out of the 40s uranium glass. So this is some of the rods I had turned in and had from that lot. I don't have a lot of these, but I do have some rods from that lot that I had bought. So let's go ahead and let's make a hummingbird out of it. You know what? We're going to do it really cool too. I'm going to make the body of the hummingbird out of amber purple, and then we will do the tail, wings, beak out of uranium. Name it Chaos, the marble. Yeah, I like Chaos. I also like Patchwork because it's kind of like patchwork, like a patchwork kilt or quilt kilt. All right, let's go ahead and get this built up. We're going to make the body again out of the amber purple. And then we're going to do the wings, tail, beak out of uranium. And this is going to be the 1940s stuff. This is the original Pyrex uranium. This is the OG of it. Does not get any cooler than that. I'm going to separate this. I'm going to grab the other amber purple rod. I'm going to mix all this stuff in here. I think it's going to look awesome too. Okay, that is clear right there, so we don't want to add that in. I want to add this amber purple in here. All right, so we are making a hummingbird, and part of the bird will be made from uranium glass, original Pyrex from the 1940s. I know, quilting is almost a lost art. This one's, again, going to be a little bit larger than the normal hummingbirds because we're going to make it pretty... It's going to be an amazing set of colors in here, so we are going to make it a little larger than an average hummingbird that I normally do. So we're definitely going to focus on that portion of it. So we're structuring the body right now. The body and the head. Like that. All right, we got to build the butt of the bird up real quick. The butt and the tail. Okay. So we got this body built. We're going to do the extension for the tail. Okay, so we got the body built up right now. Let's go ahead and start on the tail. Okay. We're really going to go a little bit out of the ordinary on this one because it is the rare uranium. So I'm going to add a lot of character to it. There we go. So let's give you a tail glimpse here. So got a little glimpse of the tail going. Let's take a peek at that amber purple for a moment. Ooh, we're starting to get some colors bouncing through there. All right, we got this. Got to put a little hook on it so it can hang. Now I'm going to go a little higher on the hook, so this one's going to hang slightly different. All right, now we got a hook. Let's go ahead and make this thing look absolutely amazing. Oh, got to straighten it out a little bit more. All right, that's better. Let's get some wings on here. So we got wing number 1. I can do this without burning my thing out. There we go. We got wing number 1 on there. And let's get wing number 2 on. Okay. I had to count how many rungs I had on it. Yeah, we're looking good. It's totally weird working with glass that's older than me. Need to grab eyeball glass. I forgot that already. Perfect. Bring it over, and we got the side view. And that is made out of the 1940s guy. Like I said, it's a little more than normal. And then we got these colors bouncing through right now. I'm going to fix those colors up real quick. Let's go ahead and fix those colors. So this is how you make amber purple work best, right? Like this. And then you get rid of all those little highlight marks. And then where it burns off right there, the colors are going to come in even better. So we're going to let that cool for a second. Then we're going to hit it with the flame one more time, and you're going to see the colors change again. Bring it over, and we'll start to see those colors bouncing in again. See that we're starting to get some of that magic happening. We got to get that spot right there in the belly, and we're going to get it all rounded out. So we just have that spot right there. Might have to hit it one more time. I don't know yet. No, we got it. And then that little streak right there will pop in. But yeah, there we go. Not getting any uranium out of it yet, but yeah. Kind of cool. This bird's going to be amazing when it's all done. When it's done doing its cooling off session. There's the tail. So this one I flared out a little bit more. So it should hang pretty cool. Right now the tweezers are kind of in the way, so it's not hanging the right way, but it should hang just about like that. Like it's in flight. And that is made with uranium glass from 1940s. It was pretty awesome. Right? I think so. Yeah, I think that's pretty awesome to have that 1940s in there. Makes it look really unique. What's up, Tim? How are you? Oh, I got to stretch for a second. I appreciate that. The flare, yeah. So that's more of the... So I have the basic Hummingbird, and then you have the enhanced one. I haven't done the enhanced too often. I probably have to do more. Yeah, I will probably have to do more of those. But we'll see. No, he's not working. He's off tonight. Yeah, he's off tonight. All right, I think that does it for the night. That is almost 3 hours of streaming. So I'm going to call it.